Remember to give the video a thumbs up, share your insights in the comments, and subscribe to keep up with our latest tales. Little did I know that a simple dinner gathering could alter the course of my serene existence. At 57, I had found a comfortable cadence in life. In the gentle embrace of retirement, mornings unfold in the garden's vibrant hues. Afternoons are spent lost in the pages of historical novels, and quiet evenings are cherished alongside my beloved husband, Mark. After more than 30 years of marriage, I thought the days of surprises had long since faded into the past. How mistaken I was. It began with a simple spark of curiosity. On a Friday night, a dinner unfolds, hosted by Mark's longtime colleague, Jeff, alongside his wife, Alison. Jeff was a younger man, around 48, exuding charisma and wit, with striking silver hair and a confident demeanor that captivated any room he entered. Our acquaintance had been a casual one for several years, with our interactions primarily confined to company events. Alison exuded charm as a host, radiating warmth and grace with every gesture. I was captivated by her ability to transform even the most ordinary meals into memorable occasions. In a delightful suburban setting stood a colonial home, its neatly trimmed hedges framing a front porch that beckoned with warmth and hospitality. Upon entering, the gentle notes of jazz floated through the air from unseen speakers, intertwining beautifully with the inviting aroma of garlic roasting and fresh herbs wafting from the kitchen. Softly glowing candles adorned the dining table, their gentle flickers creating a ballet of shadows that waltzed across the walls, which were dressed in hues of beige and pale blue. The warm atmosphere wrapped around me like a comforting blanket, instantly soothing my spirit. Step right in, Melanie. So glad you made it, Alison said, her voice flowing like the gentle jazz melodies that surrounded us. With a warm embrace, she enveloped me in her genuine friendliness, soothing my anxious spirit. With a wide smile, I responded, "Thank you, Alison. The aroma in this space is simply enchanting." As the four of us gathered around the dinner table, Jeff poured wine, his rich voice weaving through humorous anecdotes from his recent trip abroad. The dialogue danced effortlessly, with laughter bubbling up naturally. Mark was in high spirits, clearly relishing the chance to escape from the pressures of his demanding job. As the dessert was served, a heavenly chocolate mousse adorned with raspberries, Jeff's gaze met mine. "Melanie, I've been told by Mark that you possess a remarkable gift for gardening. I would appreciate some guidance. My roses are not flourishing as I had hoped." I chuckled softly, feeling a warm glow from his recognition. "I wouldn't call it talent, Jeff, just a matter of patience." "Ah, I would be delighted to take a glance. Wonderful. Maybe after dinner." His gaze held for a moment, and a gentle warmth began to rise along my neck. I set the feeling aside, certain it was merely a figment of my imagination. Once we finished our dessert, Jeff led me through a sliding door that opened onto a vast patio, illuminated by the gentle glow of the moonlight. The cool evening breeze caressed the air, weaving softly through the trees, blending with the delicate scent of jasmine that lingered in the twilight. Petals from Alison's garden beds. Mark and Alison stayed indoors, completely absorbed in their lively discussion about potential vacation spots. Jeff guided me to a row of roses, their beauty fighting to shine beneath the gentle glow of outdoor lights. He knelt down, his eyes tracing the intricate patterns of the leaves, and beckoned for me to come closer. "Observe how the edges are transforming into a vibrant yellow hue," Jeff inquired, his voice now gentle, imbued with a sense of true wonder. I drew nearer, suddenly conscious of how close we were. One heartbeat quickened. "Mysteriously, it seems they could benefit from a bit more nitrogen," I suggested, working to maintain a calm tone. Jeff faced me, his demeanor a blend of gravity and warmth. "Melanie, I find myself filled with a sense of longing for the bond you and Mark possesses. After 2 decades of sharing our lives, It feels as though Asen and I have slowly begun to drift apart. His unexpected candor took me by surprise. Every union experiences its share of highs and lows. Jeff, it's perfectly fine. He nodded with a contemplative air. Perhaps it is. Yet, of late, an emptiness lingers in the air. The depth of vulnerability in his eyes struck a profound chord. Once upon a time, in a world yet to unfold, there existed a moment before the journey began. As he began to respond, his hand grazed softly against mine. The fleeting, pure connection sparked a thrill within me, igniting a wave of guilt intertwined with an exhilarating surprise that surged through my very being. Apologies escaped Jeff's lips as he swiftly withdrew, a true sense of embarrassment coloring his tone. I never intended to overstep my bounds. With a moment's pause, my feelings danced in a tempest within me. Though my first urge was to withdraw, a more profound urge stirred within me, urging me to extend the hand of kindness instead. It's all right, I murmured softly, catching myself off guard. You're simply speaking your truth. Jeff raised his gaze, a warmth of appreciation illuminating his striking visage. In that stillness, we recognized the tension, a subtle yet undeniable presence between us. In that moment, I sensed a profound recognition, a glimpse into my soul that had eluded me for years. Even if the full meaning remained just out of reach, coming back inside, it felt like a dream. Mark's warm smile brought comfort, yet it bore an unfamiliar heaviness, a nuance I couldn't quite decipher. I caught a glimpse of Jeff from across the room, observing how he had withdrawn into his own thoughts, keeping a courteous demeanor. In the vast expanse, where horizons stretch endlessly, there lies a profound sense of separation. The evening wrapped up on a friendly note, yet my thoughts lingered, entwined in the intricate web of the events that had just unfolded. Later that night, as Mark lay in serene slumber beside me, I found myself gazing at the ceiling, my heart a tempest of unanswered questions. Was my reaction merely a response to unexpected attention? Or had Jeff stirred something long asleep within me? Could a fleeting encounter genuinely shatter the peace I held dear for so many years? It dawned on me, stirring both unease and intrigue, that our once delightful and predictable existence now seemed to lack something essential. Yet beneath the chaos, I felt a stirring within, akin to a tender bud unfurling to greet the first light of dawn. Delicate yet undeniably vibrant. Little did I realize, this unforeseen evening was just the start of a voyage into the depths of self-discovery. A journey lit by delicate instances, fleeting glances, and a silent bond that Jeff and I now embraced. What lay ahead would test every limit we had meticulously established, compelling us both to face the realities we had long shunned. And you won't believe the twist that awaited us next. In the days that followed that unforgettable dinner, my life seemed to remain the same on the surface. Yet, hidden beneath the comforting rhythms of life, the morning strolls through the garden, the tranquil afternoons spent with tea as I immersed myself in the pages of a book and spent evenings lost in the charm of old movies with Mark, a subtle unrest began to weave itself into the fabric of my thoughts. Time and again, I found myself revisiting that moment on the patio, where Jeff's hand lightly grazed mine, and his surprising confession lingered in the air. Every memory awakened feelings I had almost lost touch with. Years had passed since I last experienced such a profound sense of being truly seen or desired, even if just for a fleeting moment. Yet, beneath the torrent of these emotions, a persistent guilt quietly festered. Mark was my husband, my lifelong companion, and my heart held a deep affection for him. Yet, something about Jeff's vulnerability, his openness, had stirred a long-forgotten corner of my heart. On a bright and cheerful afternoon, I found myself deep in contemplation next to my beloved lilacs, carefully snipping away the faded blooms. The garden often served as my refuge, a place brimming with tranquil stillness and clarity. Yet, Today, my thoughts danced restlessly, refusing to find their calm. Melanie, a figure has arrived to see you. From the back porch, Mark's voice broke through the stillness. As I turned, a thrill surged within me, causing my heart to leap into my throat. Jeff lingered beside Mark, clad in a relaxed blue button-down shirt and jeans, his demeanor radiating warmth yet tinged with caution. My heart raced at once. Yeah, I steeled myself into tranquility, offering him a composed smile. Apologies for my unexpected visit, Jeff said softly, drawing closer, gently. I was eager to delve deeper into the tale of those roses. However, if you find yourself occupied, oh, it's all good, I responded swiftly, feeling my voice reveal a trace of anticipation. Mark beamed, blissfully ignorant of the tempest brewing silently between Jeff and me. With a light-hearted laugh, Mark turned back toward the house, leaving the gardening experts to their craft. Jeff and I stood quietly together, our silence heavy with the weight of unexpressed thoughts. All around, the birds sang joyfully, unaware of the tension simmering quietly just below our seemingly calm exterior. At last, Jeff cleared his throat, shattering the stillness that hung between us. Melanie, I felt it was important to reach out once more to express my apologies for the other night. He started softly, with genuine emotion woven into each phrase. I ventured into uncharted territory, and the weight of that choice has lingered heavily on my heart ever since. I examined his face intently, observing the authentic sorrow reflected in his blue eyes. A peculiar sensation gripped my chest, a blend of relief and disappointment swirling together inside me. No need for an apology, I spoke to him with gentle assurance. In the stillness, nothing unfolded. He nodded slowly, stepping closer, his voice a mere whisper, as if sharing a secret meant only for the two of them. Yet an event unfolded. We both sensed it. My breath hitched as Jeff's eyes held mine with an unwavering intensity. His voice was gentle yet filled with conviction, every word selected with intention. I understand it's not right, Melanie, he admitted softly, and I've attempted to push it aside. But thoughts of you linger in my mind. It has been ages since I experienced such a profound bond. A surge of warmth enveloped me, only to be swiftly followed by a tide of confusion. Jeff, I have taken vows. In a blissful union. I understand, Jeff replied softly, and the final thing I wish to do is to disturb the rhythm of your life. But I needed you to know. You stirred something deep within me, something I had overlooked, a possibility waiting to be rediscovered. For a fleeting moment, a profound silence enveloped us, pierced only by the gentle rustle of leaves above. My heart pounded fiercely within me, caught in a struggle between the unwavering loyalty I felt for Mark and the undeniable allure of Jeff's sincerity. I turned my gaze aside, feelings clashing tumultuously inside me. With a soft breath, I finally expressed my gratitude for your honesty, and I must confess, your words resonated within me profoundly. Yet, we find ourselves unable to take action on this matter. It lacks fairness for all involved. With a heavy breath, Jeff revealed the weight of his inner turmoil. With a careful touch, he extended his hand, enveloping mine softly within his grasp. It enveloped me in warmth and comfort, and my fingers instinctively tightened around his. He spoke gently, conveying his understanding of my choice. What I truly seek is the bond of your friendship. Should that be all we possess, it shall suffice. I nodded slowly, yet the fire in his gaze hinted at a different tale beneath the surface. Friendship, I whispered, gently letting go of his hand. Nothing else. The ensuing weeks unfolded with a subtle yet profound unrest. Jeff and I shared brief exchanges, weaving in gardening advice and light chatter about the weather, all while being mindful of our limits. Yet, in every exchange, no matter how fleeting, our emotional connection grew ever deeper. As I sat there, The moments stretched on, each second heavy with the weight of expectation. His messages held a power over me, igniting a thrill that danced alongside a shadow of fear. One evening, Mark casually shared that Jeff and Allison would be joining us at a company gathering, an enchanting gala event in the heart of downtown. My heart raced at the thought of seeing Jeff again, this time in a crowded room. Our subtle tension might prove difficult to conceal. As dusk settled in, the magnificent ballroom came to life, filled with gentle melodies, twinkling lights, and couples adorned in their finest attire, moving with effortless grace. Mark led me inside, his hands softly placed on my lower back, a reassuring presence, blissfully oblivious to the storm brewing within me. Across the room, my gaze landed on Jeff, our eyes locking in an instant, sparking a fire deep within my chest. As the dinner unfolded, the dialogue danced seamlessly among the four of them. Yet, beneath the polished laughter and polite exchanges, Jeff and I exchanged fleeting, secretive glances, every glance brimming with unspoken desire, every gentle smile laden with profound significance. As the last bites of dinner were savored, the guests began to meander toward the dance floor, drawn by the rhythm that beckoned them. Mark, ever the embodiment of chivalry, offered his hand to Allison, inviting her to join him in a delightful dance. With a gentle chuckle, they mingled with other couples under the twinkling lights, leaving Jeff and me in our own little world. For a moment we paused, uncertainty hanging in the air, until Jeff extended his hand with a soft, inviting tone that beckoned us closer. With a flutter of anticipation coursing through me, I gently slipped my hand into his, letting him lead me onto the dance floor. My heart raced as we started to sway softly, a world shrinking away until it contained only Jeff and me. "You look beautiful tonight," he whispered, his voice wrapped in warmth and sincerity. My cheeks warmed, and a sudden wave of emotion constricted my throat. "Jeff," I began gently, feeling the treacherous road that lay ahead of us. We decided to keep our friendship alive. He leaned back just a bit, gazing intently into my eyes, his expression a blend of warmth and resolve. "The bond we share only enhances my appreciation for your incredible nature, and it certainly doesn't diminish the depth of my care for you." We pressed on, side by side, our intimacy a blend of solace and agony. My mind shouted warnings, yet every fiber of my being beckoned me nearer to this man who comprehended my concealed essence. Before I knew it, the melody faded away. We lingered, our eyes locked, quietly recognizing the fragile line we had stepped over. "I ought not to feel this way," I murmured with a tremor in my voice. Yet, somehow, he eludes my grasp. Jeff brushed my cheek softly, his fingertips igniting a cascade of shivers along my spine. "Neither can I, but we shall honor whatever choice you make, I vow." I withdrew, my heart weighed down by a deep yearning and doubt, quietly appreciative of his respect, yet shadowed by the fervor that lingered between us. As I rejoined Mark, I donned a courteous facade, smiling while quietly pondering how much longer I could suppress the truth that was unfurling inside me. Unbeknownst to me, the occurrences of this night would steer our fragile bond into a more formidable trial, a revelation so unforeseen, and it would irrevocably alter the course of our lives. And you simply won't imagine what unfolded next. Days transformed into weeks, each one weaving a tapestry of silent yearning and perplexity within my heart. I endeavored to conceal my emotions, to hide them under layers of gardening projects, morning strolls, and the familiar rhythm of dinners with Mark. Yet Jeff's words resonated gently within me, awakening facets of my being I hadn't recognized in years. On a rainy afternoon, as I sifted through our old photographs in our cozy sitting room, the familiar chime of my phone caught me off guard. My heart raced, a familiar recognition stirring within me. Jeff's message resonated with brevity and strength. "Melanie, might we have a moment to converse? I assure you, This holds great significance. My breath caught in my throat, a swirl of nerves and excitement intertwining within me. After a brief pause, I responded, absolutely. Where might one find themselves? He proposed we gather at a serene coffee shop on the outskirts of town, a place where we could converse in private yet still uphold a sense of decorum for our commitments. With my heart racing in uncertainty, I found myself agreeing, my conscience weighed down yet driven by a deep desire to grasp the urgency of his words. The cafe embraced all who entered, a cozy haven where the rich aroma of freshly brewed coffee mingled with the gentle murmur of hushed dialogues. Jeff sat posed at a hidden table in the corner, his hands tightly clasped, and his eyes gleaming with an intensity that was utterly captivating. "Thank you for meeting me," he said softly, motioning for me to take a seat. He appeared taut, yet profoundly determined, his demeanor solemn. "What is it, Jeff?" I inquired gently, my unease just beneath the surface. "Has an event unfolded?" With a heavy sigh, he ran a hand through his silver hair, his eyes reflecting a deep, quiet anguish. Allison holds the truth within her grasp. A sudden jolt gripped my stomach, and my heart raced wildly with panic. Is aware. "What is it about, we?" Jeff nodded with a deliberate slowness. "She felt an intriguing presence at the gala yesterday. She faced me head-on. I couldn't deceive you, Melanie. I shared it all with her. How I feel, our conversations. Even in the absence of events unfolding." A frigid shiver seized my heart as a wave of panic surged within my chest. Jeff, I find myself at the loss for words. "You don't have to say anything," he reassured gently, his eyes filled with a silent plea. Yet, there was a significant understanding that blossomed between Allison and me. "I felt it was important to share my thoughts with you and outline the path ahead." "What unfolds next?" I whispered softly, a tremor of fear creeping in as I contemplated the fragile piece I had so diligently safeguarded. With a gentle touch, Jeff grasped my hand, calming my quivering fingers. His touch wrapped around me like a warm embrace, even as it stirred the storm within. "I assured Allison that I would honor any decision you choose to make, Melanie, should you decide to turn away. I assure you I will embrace that choice. Yet, if you experience even a fraction of what I feel, then we must confront it with sincerity." His honesty resonated, and his openness struck a profound chord. Emotion welled up within me, and I fought to articulate my thoughts. "Jeff, you've unearthed emotions I believed were long forgotten. Yet, Mark has woven himself into the very fabric of my existence for more than 3 decades. He clasped my hand softly, a fire of emotion igniting in his gaze. "I understand, and I would never request that you turn your back on that. But can you truly refute the bond we discovered? Is it not? Is it worth at least recognizing?" My heart ached, caught in a fierce tug-of-war between loyalty and longing. In the quiet corners of my mind, I understood that Jeff held the truth. The connection we had forged, subtle yet profound, could not just fade away. We were bound to reveal the truth to ourselves and to our partners. After a lengthy silence, I began to speak with great care, my voice trembling with sincerity. "There's no escaping the truth of my emotions. You've brought to light fragments of my being that had nearly slipped away from my memory. Yet, the pain lingers. Mark sends shivers down my spine. I wish to hold on to him, while also protecting Allison's heart." Jeff nodded, a profound understanding reflected in his countenance. "I share that sentiment. Yet, I hold the conviction that concealing the truth ultimately causes greater pain. Perhaps embracing honesty will guide us all in discovering what lies ahead." We lingered in a contemplative hush, letting the gravity of his words settle around us. Outside, the rain gently danced upon the cafe windows, echoing our serene contemplation. "I need to talk with Mark," I finally whispered, a mix of relief and terror swirling within me at the confession. "Once upon a time, There was a figure who merits transparency. With a gentle grip, Jeff held my hand, offering a comforting squeeze before letting it go softly. No matter what unfolds, Melanie, my presence will remain, whether as a companion or something deeper. I won't rush you. But remember, you're not walking this path by yourself. We separated with a silent acknowledgement, feelings intertwined yet unmistakably defined. As I navigated the road home, the grey drizzle fell softly around me, and I found myself rehearsing the conversation that filled me with dread. Yet, I understood it was a conversation I had to have. Mark earned it. The truth, no matter how painful it may be. That evening, after dinner, as we sat quietly together in the living room, I called forth the bravery to express oneself. My heart raced with intensity, a wave of unease swelling inside me. Mark, I have a request for you. As I spoke with you, I started softly, my voice revealing a hint of unease. He gently set his newspaper aside, his gaze shifting to me with a hint of worrying in his eyes. All is well. Melanie. I inhaled deeply, my heart heavy as I gazed into his familiar, comforting eyes. Recently, an unexpected event unfolded. There was nothing tangible, yet emotionally, I found myself irresistibly pulled towards another. His expression transformed in an instant, from a whirlwind of chaos to a still, aching silence. His voice carried a softness, tinged with a hint of tension. Once upon a time, there was a character named Jeff. Startled by his insight, I nodded gradually, a weight of guilt constricting my heart. Indeed. Mark breathed out slowly, his gaze far away but steady. As I wandered through the gala, a curious observation caught my attention. The gaze he cast upon you, and the way your eyes met his. I never meant for this to happen, I whispered, my voice trembling as tears streamed down my cheeks. You've been the very essence of my existence, Mark. My heart is filled with affection for you. Yet, this sensation has stirred something deep within me, something potent, and I knew I had to speak the truth. He regarded me with a contemplative gaze, a subtle melancholy reflected in his eyes. After a moment, he reached for my hand gently, catching me off guard. I appreciate your honesty, Melanie, he said. You had the chance to keep this from me, yet you chose not to. That holds significance. His response caught me off guard, amplifying the weight of guilt that settled within me. Mark, I deeply regret what has happened. He shook his head, his voice a gentle whisper, yet resolute. Embrace your humanity without regret. 3 decades stretch out like a vast landscape, filled with tales and experiences. Love evolves and individuals transform. Indeed, I bear the weight of pain. Yet, I grasp the essence. Truth is something you are entitled to as well. My heart shattered softly, engulfed by his elegance and kindness. I'm at a crossroads, unsure of my next step. In this moment, I find myself adrift. Mark clasped my hand softly, his breath steady and profound. Pause for a moment. Discover the deepest desires of your heart, regardless of the circumstances. My deepest wish is for your happiness. His compassion broke through my defenses, enveloping me in a wave of gratitude while simultaneously deepening the ache within my heart. In that moment, I understood the profound depth of our connection, rooted in Mark's steadfast respect for me as an individual. We lingered in silence, the soft ticking of the clock echoing the transient, delicate, and invaluable nature of our existence. Whichever path lay ahead, I understood that Mark's kindness had transformed my reality, unveiling opportunities I'd never dared to dream of. As the tranquil evening slipped into the gentle embrace of night, I sensed that the most challenging decisions were yet to come. The journey ahead was shrouded in uncertainty. Yet, the light of honesty illuminated the way, guiding one toward genuine self-discovery and profound growth. Yet, Nothing could have truly equipped me for what unfolded next. A climactic revelation that would irrevocably change the course of all our lives. In the weeks that unfolded after that sincere, soul-stirring dialogue with Mark, life began to feel almost dreamlike. Every day seemed delicate, hanging in the balance between the warmth of what once was and the unpredictability of what lies ahead. Mark and I shared our thoughts, vulnerabilities, and aspirations in a manner that felt both refreshing and long overdue. In a curious twist, it was through this raw honesty that we found ourselves drawing nearer, paradoxically strengthening our connection even as the path ahead remained shrouded in uncertainty. Jeff and Allison embarked on a journey toward understanding, opting for counseling to delve into the intricacies of their emotions. Jeff and I decided to keep our distance during this sensitive time, allowing ourselves the freedom to truly reflect without any pressure or expectations weighing us down. On a bright, sunlit afternoon, as I nurtured my guardente sanctuary that consistently offered me clarity, Mark quietly drew near, cradling two cups of tea in his hands. He settled next to me, softly offering the warm mug. Once upon a time, there was a character named Melanie. He started with intention, his voice calm and soothing. I've been pondering quite a bit lately. I gazed upon his face, perceiving a blend of strength and vulnerability that resided within him. Same here. Mark smiled gently, his comforting presence soothing my spirit. A significant revelation dawned upon me. Our union is woven together by love, intertwined with the threads of friendship, respect, and honesty. Perhaps, after all this time, we should create space for one another to seek out joy, even if it requires welcoming transformation. My eyes brimmed with tears at his heartfelt honesty. What are you trying to convey, Mark? He grasped my hand gently, the sincerity evident in his gaze. My love for you runs deep, allowing you the freedom to discover what your heart genuinely seeks, even if it means stepping back to let you explore your bond with Jeff. No matter the twists and turns of life, you are worthy of joy. Indeed, we share that sentiment. As I find myself in my garden, enveloped by the vibrant flowers that dance softly in the warm breeze, a profound understanding of the truth behind our journey unfolds before me. Life, akin to my garden, demands bravery, perseverance, and a willingness to embrace transformation. Connections are not merely shaped by habit or obligation. They are molded by genuine connection, empathy, and reverence. At times, what appears unattainable initially guides us to precisely where we are destined to go. I cast my eyes toward the house, where Mark engages in easy conversation with Jeff and Allison, their laughter floating gently in my direction.